The Twilight Zone Live is an alternate universe to our own, but it keeps true to the realities of life. We can see behind the facades that everyone puts up.
It used to be a tradition here, but now they're bringing it back, and it's going to be probably every month now. And the Twilight Zone Live is just a really fun show based on the episodes with a few twists.
Even though it's sort of a pop culture artifact, it wasn't available to a whole generation, so it's sort of fun that we can restage those to a whole new generation. Lately, the audiences seem to be attaching more of a appreciation for it. It used to be, it was just sort of like the Twilight Zones were like stepping into the arena. The audience was really rowdy.
You know, I've come to many shows over the years, and I've never actually participated on stage with the Blue Room, but had many friends that were acting here, and I would come and support as an audience member. That was my only association.
They'd be Mystery Science theatering it at times, and now it seems like the audiences just sit back, enjoy what the actors are doing.
And I'm directing The Living Doll by Charles Beaumont, who is one of the great Twilight Zone writers, although he didn't actually write this episode. He just got credited with it. Actually, Jerry Saul wrote it because Charles Beaumont was a very sickly man and couldn't really fulfill all of his writing engagements. But I think he kind of came up with the idea. It was filmed with Telly Savalas of Kojak fame, and we have a great actor, old Blue Room stage veteran named Steve Epperson doing the lead.
I like to start sweating now that I'm on film. This is great. The character of Eric Streeter is, he's a really uptight guy. I mean, obviously, impotence could come from high blood pressure, smoking, drinking, stress, obviously unable to perform. So, he's kind of a mess internally, and he's taking it out on the females in his life. Here you go, Christy.
Tina,
Lovely freaking doll.
The Living Doll, I play the mom, and she's totally different from any character I've played because she's in this relationship where she doesn't have a lot of control, and she likes to escape by buying things, especially for her daughter. So she buys her daughter a bunch of dolls, and she goes out shopping because that's the only thing she can do in the house.
In The Living Doll, we see the perfect family, but how they view it. From the outside, we have a nice dad, we have a beautiful mom, and we have a perfect little child. But then when you go inside the house, you see that he is money-craved, he's very manipulative and particular about everything. The mom has a lot of issues. She wants everything to look beautiful. It doesn't matter how it actually is. And the daughter, well, she has some issues of her own.
Rod Serling, he tended to like his vices, drink, smoke, that sort of thing. And I tend to lean that way myself a little bit, so I don't mind holding a drink in my hand or smoking a cigarette occasionally. So, yeah, the mannerisms, the hand gestures, what really impressed me was his voice inflection, the way he used his voice. I guess he was from the Bronx or somewhere in New York is where he grew up. And trying to imitate that a little bit, but with my own side of it, it's interesting and fun.
Especially a doll like Talking Tina, who did talk and who did commit here in the misty regions of the Twilight Zone.
Well, Rod Serling, obviously he's a genius, I think playing him is I don't know, it's kind of a part of the play that's different than the play itself, and that it symbolizes the man who's behind creating or producing these plays. Obviously he's the brilliant mind, so you have to get into his mind to get into the play. Kind of like what Steven Spielberg writes about sometimes. He brings out, as he did in, what was that one, Poltergeist. It was like the fears of every kid coming to life. Well, these are the fears of every human being coming to life on stage, so that's what I think it's about.
So it's nice to have a face to the late night in some regards like that. Let Rod Serling unlock the door to your imagination.